May was abandoned when she was only about 2 months old. She lay in her cradle, crying herself dry, her face turning purple. It was a woman, whom May would later call grandmother, who found her. At that time, May was crying in a cradle placed on a stone bench by a lake, where people often went for exercise or relaxation early in the morning or late in the evening. The woman took May home. She hurriedly carried her back, calling out loudly, "Liam, Liam, Anna Liam, what's going on, Mom?" "Grandmother, look, son, this baby girl was abandoned by the lake. What should we do?" The wailing, hungry cries of the baby girl made Anna Liam irritated. "Mom, just return her to the same place or take her to an orphanage. She's too small. She needs someone who can truly care for her, Mom." Grandmother hugged May, holding her close, and said, "I love you so much. Liam, you must take care of her. Go buy milk for her." Liam, the son of the grandmother, had just broken up with his fiancée. The whole house was in sorrow, and now, the cries of May only added to their worries. May became a huge concern for both mother and son. For the past few months, Anna Liam had been coughing a lot and had haunted his ex-girlfriend's family. They feared that Liam had an early stage of cancer. Moreover, she had run off with someone wealthier. She was Liam's first love, and after that, his heart no longer wanted to open up to love anyone again. Thus, May found her way into their home. Her cries for milk often tore at the hearts of both Liam and his mother. Each night, when May cried, Liam would lose his temper. "I told you, Mom, we should send this baby girl away." But when May had a fever, Liam panicked. There were times he wanted to leave home to find work elsewhere, but he felt guilty, knowing that leaving his mother alone to raise May would be too much for her. Day after day, Liam continued to work at a local woodworking factory. Time passed quickly, and May grew up. Liam built a wooden seat attached to his bicycle to take her to school each day. One day, as Liam returned home from work, May called out, "Daddy, Daddy." Her voice touched him deeply, and he embraced her, saying, "Here I am, my girl. Daddy loves you." "My dear, we'll move to a new place closer to my workplace, okay?" sighed Liam. "I don't want to move, Daddy. My friends here love me so much." May answered, "You'll have to grow up and eventually go to college. You'll have to part with your friends here, and you'll make new ones in new places. The more people who love you, the better. Not just the few friends you have here, my dear." Liam had to persuade May many times. Sometimes she cried, but he couldn't give in to her wishes. Eventually, they moved. While packing, Liam found a photo of a woman with the words, "I love you so much, my child. I'm sorry I couldn't take care of you. Whoever adopts you, please name you May. I will find you again, May. The white birthmark on your forehead is from the time I couldn't take good care of you." Perhaps the grandmother had kept this photo and forgotten about it. Liam decided to hide it. He was afraid that if May knew, she might leave him to find her birth mother. May and her father lived peacefully in their new home near his workplace. This new house was right next to a church. The priest often visited their home and talked with Liam. He also allowed May to take free piano lessons at the church during summer for several years. Perhaps the grandmother had kept this photo and forgotten about it. As time passed, May eventually left for college, attending a conservatory of music since she had a talent for piano and a high singing voice. Getting into the conservatory was easy for her. Before she left, her father gave her lots of advice. He kept walking in and out, packing things into her backpack and sorting money for her. He even taught her self-defense. Perhaps the grandmother had kept this photo and forgotten about it. While packing a sticky rice snack into her bag, he said, "When you face anything, call me first, okay? I'll be there to save you in no time." His words made May cry. She ran up and hugged him from behind, afraid she wouldn't have her father to care for her anymore. she was also afraid of being bullied. "I'll come back to visit you often, Daddy. Coming back too often will cost you money, dear. If you miss me, just call." He said that to give her strength, but deep down, being apart from her left him feeling empty. Some nights, Liam would take out his phone, about to call her, but then he'd put it away, afraid of disturbing her study time. The pressures of school and living in the city left May little time to call her father. Work at the woodworking shop where Liam was employed slowed down and his wages decreased. To help with expenses, May took on jobs with her schoolmates at a garment factory, doing simple tasks like trimming threads from export clothes. The pay was meager, just enough for breakfast. In her third year of conservatory, May also worked as a music tutor at a piano school, which helped her cover rent. Near her boarding house, May became close friends with Jenny, a devout girl who often invited her to church. Because May could play the piano, Jenny arranged for her to play in the church choir. Each time Jenny took May to church, she would say, "Entrust your life to God, and He will strengthen and support you." Jenny's family was wealthy, and they often helped May financially, inviting her over for meals. It was at their house that May learned how to make the sign of the cross before meals. Jenny's brother, Lay, was a translation company director, and he adored May like a sister. One day, while waiting for a bus after work, May missed her ride and sat there helplessly as bus after bus came and went. Hungry and cold in the rain, she longed for her father to be there, to take her home. Memories of riding on his bicycle with the wooden seat came flooding back, and she wept without realizing it. Just then, Jenny called. "May, come to choir practice. Tomorrow is the feast of the exaltation of the Holy Cross. It's raining heavily, the streets are flooded, and my bike broke down. I had to leave it at work and I'm waiting for a bus," said May. "Oh dear, there's no more bus to our place at this time. Stay put, I'll ask my brother Lay to pick you up." "Oh, I feel so embarrassed," May said. At that moment, a group of rowdy boys approached May, tugging at her arms and saying, "Come with us to heaven. Why go home?" They laughed, yelled, and pulled at her, leaving her weak and terrified in the rain. But just in time, La arrived. Since then, La had taken extra care of May, helping her even more. May knew that everything about her birth mother was painful, but hearing her mother share the hardships she had endured, May no longer felt anger. Instead, she felt closer to her mother and more compassionate toward her. May's mother continued, "When I found you, I was so scared. I was afraid you wouldn't accept me, that you would hate me for abandoning you. But seeing you grow up healthy and happy with your father gave me some peace of mind. I'm sorry I couldn't take care of you from the beginning, but I will always be here to make it up to you." May was overwhelmed with emotion, unable to speak. Her life, from being a child abandoned at birth and raised by her father Liam and grandmother, had gone through so many ups and downs. But now, with her birth mother back in her life, she had another person to love and care for her. Later on, May's father also accepted her mother's return, though it was difficult at first. Both her father and mother understood that the most important thing was May's happiness. And May, who had once lived in the loneliness of being abandoned, now had a complete family with the love of both her father Liam and her birth mother. May grew up, continued to pursue her dream of music, and always remembered that her life was protected by God. When May dared to entrust her life to God, He bestowed unexpected miracles upon her, bringing her parents back together and helping her overcome all obstacles. May's life became a story of forgiveness, unconditional love, and unwavering faith in God. She understood that things don't always go the way we want, but with faith and patience, everything would be arranged by God in the best possible way. From that day on, May was no longer just an orphaned girl. She was a girl with both a father and mother, and with God always by her side. And she lived her life to the fullest, not just for herself, but for those who had loved and cared for her all those years.